In the year 1912, when the 27th American president, William Howard Taft, sat in the Oval Office, when the Titanic took its ill-fated maiden voyage, and when the last of the contiguous United States was admitted to the Union, a small conference of officials from 11 United States ports throughout the country were invited to meet in New York City to exchange ideas. This meeting took place 2 years ahead of the First World War, 6 years before the onset of the Spanish flu pandemic, and 11 years before the commercialization of sound and film. These port representatives built a permanent organization between principal port authorities in the United States. They called it the American Association of Port Authorities. Today, in 2022, AAPA celebrates a 110-year legacy. Housed in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C., AAPA symbolizes and represents over 80 deep draft seaports across the United States, over 31 million direct and indirect jobs, and a rich collection of people who execute the movement of goods in this country. America watches as food reaches the dinner table, as holiday toys and desperately needed household commodities hit shelves, as medicine is stocked at pharmacies and delivered to the most vulnerable populations on Earth. The overall value add to the U.S. economy, as facilitated by America's maritime ports, amounts to over a quarter of United States gross domestic product, or $5.4 trillion per year, and these figures are expected to rapidly increase. The nation and the world are driven by the pivotal labor of the seaports and maritime industries. It's the very turbine that propels the United States of America. But freight movement is forecasted to grow 50% by mid-century. And hardworking maritime and port infrastructure weather over time, ports desperately need sustainable funding from the government to supplement their own robust endowments. Data, technology, and digitalization at ports must revitalize to uphold the United States' role as a global leader in business. Most of all, we need our seaports infrastructure to continue building resilience. From 2020 to 2030, America's ports need substantial waterside and landside investments to meet a new floor of trade volumes. In order to maintain a posture of leadership and based on projected freight movement increases, seaports will require over $66 billion and rising. One thing the COVID-19 pandemic taught us is what our nation's future may look like if we do not act. We strongly believe the United States needs significantly strengthened port infrastructure and intermodal connectivity. The well-being of America quite literally depends on it. And we're going to fight for it. For America. For us. We are dock workers, stevedores, longshoremen, terminal operators, engineers, security officers, clerks, accountants, trade development specialists, policy advocates, pilots, dray truck operators, financial planners, resilience planners, environmental specialists, mechanics, cold chain engineers. We hail from operating ports, landlord ports, and so much more. We are the American Association of Port Authorities. And now, we build.